I'm going to call to order the meeting of the mayor and council for Monday, August 1st, 2016. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Present are Mayor Marion Galbraith, Deputy Mayor Pete Hedrick, Councilors Andrew Arantos, Stephen Sheffield, Conrad Heed, Lawrence Garish, Finance Director Ron Uhas, Clerk Deborah Patrick, excused as Councilor Jill Russ.
Thank you very much. Please stand to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Recognitions, awards, and memorials. Seeing none, receipt of citizens' petitions and comments. You'll want to grab the mic, sorry. It's a floating mic.
Daniel Tompkins, 30 South Prospect Street, as well as President of the Groton Firefighters IFF Local 1964. Here this evening to inform the council, as I'm sure you already are aware, that the membership of the Firefighters Union unanimously passed the collective bargaining agreement that will be before you this evening. And I'm here also to ask for your support in that. As in any negotiations, it's a give and take, and I think it serves both the city residents and the firefighters well. I also would like to report or inform that all parties, I think, in this particular negotiations worked very well together, from finance, the human resource, the fire administration, and the city's attorney. And I say that because that's not always the case. And even though we have differences, it's refreshing to work with a group of people that respect you and you respect them. And at the end of the day, you can walk away feeling that you accomplished something. So I'm certainly the first one to say when things aren't going smoothly. So I want to report to you when things are going smoothly, and you should know that your representatives are advocating well for you and for the residents of the city. So again, I would ask for your support in that resolution or a vote this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I would just like to say thank you for coming and saying that. I can't remember another time recently that anybody has come in as a union president and thanked us for the negotiation and urged us to support it. So thank you very much for coming and supporting your union. I appreciate that. Any other response to citizen petitions? Okay. We'll go to the approval of minutes. May we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 18, 2016 Mayor and Council meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. May we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 25th, 2016 Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Communications and reports. Councilor Ovento.
Thank you, Mayor. On July 19th, I served as a member of the Jacqueline V. Nixon Community Service Award Selection Committee with several other members of people who are involved here at the city, and again, tons of applications, great people. We've done a lot of good things for our community, not just the city, but Groton as a whole. And I think people will be impressed with those who were selected this year. There was actually a decision to select more than one person this year. As people, it's become a very difficult thing to narrow it down because so many people have done great things. So now it's they decided that it'll be a first place, second place, third place, and I think that is a good thing because it gets to recognize more people. So also I received several communications, and I'm glad Tim's here because maybe he can give us a little background on it. People have been getting stickers on their trash cans, and it's not for the trash can being too heavy, it's because they are too big. And I believe that is in an ordinance, and it's been for a while, but the staff has been asked to enforce it with our new sanitation collection. So, Tim, do you happen to know what is the size of the garbage can?
35 gallons.
35 gallons, okay.
But for people's information, we also have those toters available.
Right.
And people can purchase them from the city. I'm told that it's cheaper I purchased mine from the city, so I never did any comparison, but I'm told that it's cheaper to buy them from the city than other retail outlets. And they even register the number, so there's no question who owns that, and they deliver it to your house. We've also had questions about people, about, well, how do you get rid of the too big trash cans? And they'll pick those up, just make sure you mark it, please take away, and they'll pick those up for you. But, and I'll let Tim speak to why we're doing that, but now that it's once a week, that same 35-gallon trash can's a lot heavier, or the 50-gallon or the 60, than when it was twice a week. Tim, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, there are several reasons. When we talk about toters, people don't realize that they're 96 gallons. They can't understand why we'll pick that up and not a 45. Well, a toter will fit the back of the truck onto a semi-automatic hook.
And you can flip
and
it.
It picks it up. That's the difference.
Right.
It's not that we're trying to make money selling toters. But most of the ones we're tagging are 42 and 45 gallon. Like I said, since 2003, the ordinance 149
Yep.
limits to 35 gallons. Anything over that can get heavy. We're not saying these are all heavy, but most of them are oddball size. We can't grab them very well. The covers are attached. They go to dump them, they end up smacking them in the head or in the hands.
Yep.
They don't come apart. And then with the bulky waste also, we're finding more people are stuffing more stuff, small metal items and stuff into the cans. So we're trying to limit it back to the 35 gallon, or they can put it in the toter.
Any other questions?
Just to add, I would just ask that if people have concerns about this, that they don't go after the staff, because I've heard that has been something that's kind of been going on, that they can either call you or call the mayor's office and get in touch if they have concerns, because the staff are just doing what they've been asked to do. So
And during city day, city night, we'll be having flyers there we can hand out.
And I know it's something new and an adjustment for everybody, but I've heard about it a lot in the last couple of weeks, so I just wanted to.
We have to.
I know. So I just wanted to.
We have two.
Yeah, we have to.
We try to share.
Yeah.
I would
Thank you.
allow it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim.
Councilor Sheffield.
I just attended the last couple of weeks the farmers market on Tuesdays, and the mayor was last Tuesday, and I met Deputy Mayor Hedrick the previous Tuesday, and it was outstanding. Fruits and vegetables were great, and great turnout, and hope it keeps growing. That's all.
Thank you. Councilor Heed.
I forgot the day, but basically 2 weeks ago I attended the Airport Advisory Board over at Mystic Jet Center, and it was very interesting. They're doing a lot of work on the facilities. They're putting in a new roof. They're about to start work on sliding doors, I guess, on one of the hangars. They're getting a little pushback from the community, apparently, on putting up animal fencing around the runways. Of course, you need that because a deer going through a windshield is probably more damaging to an airplane than a bird. But I've seen these fences elsewhere, and it's not really, I guess, that disruptive to your view. It's really a safety issue. So aside from that, Friday, August 19th is the Air and Sea celebration at the Mystic Jet Center. And you probably know more about that than me, but it sounds like a really good time to take kids out and show them what it is to have a career in aviation.
So they have two events that day. All day long, they have an open house, which is certainly a good idea for families. There's a walking tour. There's lots of things that go on. And in the evening, there's the Air and Sea Celebration Gala, which I believe it's $40 a ticket.
Yes.
In advance. 50 at the door.
50 at the door. I believe there's a discount for military and that is part of the Connecticut Submarine Century.
That's buy one, get one free.
Okay.
There'll be two bands, and there's food.
Okay. Thank you very much. Councilor Garish.
No report.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Hedrick.
Thank you. I received a blight complaint, which I forwarded to building inspector, who then forwarded it to the police, and it's being investigated. And on the 20th of July, I attended the Coast Guard band when they played over at Spears Gas.
And they play again this Wednesday.
And they played, right.
Last concert of the season, if it doesn't rain.
And that's all.
Otherwise, it's August 4th. Okay, thank
They were
you.
great, by the way.
Yeah.
I also
Yes.
liked that.
Well, at this one, Yukon Dairy Bar is going to be,
Yes.
selling ice cream,
Yes,
cash
they
sales
are.
only, but
Yes.
that's yummy ice cream. And the Navy, in celebration and in thanks for the concert series, August 4th is actually the 226th birthday of the Coast Guard, so they're bringing cake to share with everyone. So,
It's an incentive.
yep, so cake and ice cream along with the concert on Wednesday. That's at 7 o'clock at Yukon Avery Point. That's enough of the ad. Deb Patrick?
Nothing, thank you.
Ron Uhas. For my report, I have asked Rick Stevens to come and give an update on the solar project. Rick, thank you very much for coming.
So what I did, just for your edification, not really to look at it right now, but just gave you the map that shows, because you're the decision makers for the city, it shows the class 1, class 2, class 3 watershed land. And also, it gives you the definitions of each one, because I know it comes before you seldom, but it's an important decision that, that you gentlemen and ladies have to make. So I thought I'd just leave that for you as a reference. What the mayor and Ron asked me to just update is the solar installation right on Class 1 and Class 2 watershed land. Ron, as the director, Gaudette signed a change of use permit request to the Connecticut DPH, the chief of which is Lori Matthews, who reports directly to the commissioner, who reports directly to the governor. In her capacity, she refused the change of use permit for the solar installation right on the watershed property in Class 1 and Class 2 land. So the contractors and vendors, Solar City being the lead, they wanted to then know what would be the next step. So to facilitate that, Ron asked if the chief of DPH would come down and listen to what they had to say and have a meeting. So Ron set that up. Lori Matthews came down, and she basically explained to them why, it was denied. And what was interesting to us is that they really didn't vet all the steps. That it doesn't have this. It really didn't meet the letter of the law regarding the use of Class 1 and Class 2 land. So, and the letter itself was vetted by the commissioner and the governor. So she explained to them that they were free then to resubmit if they wanted to, but that it wouldn't be granted. She said, "I'm not telling you not to submit, but it's not going to be granted the way that it is and the location that it is on." So then we convened from that, and then Lori Matthews wanted to talk to us about the grant and the potential on the project and go over details with her staff, with us. So we did that, and then Ron finalized the meeting, to make it, more, one-to-one with Solar City. So the way that it was reported to us and reported to the Utility Commission is that we're not proceeding with that project as it is designed.
Questions for Rick? No questions for Rick?
I guess what are the next steps? Are we proceeding with a different design then?
Sure. Well, just a bit of history, just so you know. So the whole idea of solar and alternative energy actually started for this in 2008 when we looked at rebuilding the water treatment plant. So we selected a consultant based on the fact that the consultant would have engineers that were qualified in alternative energy. So we wanted to make certain of that. So along with energy efficient motors, energy efficient pumps, energy efficient lighting, the siding of the building, the materials of the building, we looked at low-head hydro, solar, geothermal. So the engineer did that, and that's where solar first popped its head, and we thought of maybe and we were looking at 15 to 30% of the load. But we were looking at siting on rooftops, we were looking on reusing other equipment, and we were seriously looking at geothermal and low-head hydro, and these are some of the aspects that are integrated into the plant, along with all energy efficient equipment. So that's where the project originated. Then it morphed into, well, I see the land right over there, but it didn't have the proper location or the setbacks that would be required even on Class 3 land. So I think the next approach would be that I believe it would be up to the vendor, first of all, to see if there was another site that was suitable. And we, from an engineering standpoint, would be, more than happy to offer different sites. We have done that. They haven't really explored that possibility. Bless you.
Councillor Garish and then Councillor Sheffield.
My question would be, did somebody drop the ball in the beginning without making sure that this place was suitable
Let's think about that. I
by
think,
the regulations?
sure, I think there might have been an impression that because it was solar, that it would be okay, right? So I believe it wasn't anyone on our staff or anyone within the city that
No,
did
I wasn't
that.
alluding to that. I
Okay.
was thinking about Solar City.
Sure. I can't really testify to that, but I know that everybody here was, trying, because we're all, looking at alternative energy. But in terms of the design itself, we didn't do the design.
I remember in the beginning, there was so much presentation, there was so much information supplied, and all of a sudden, there's a big hole in it because that wasn't addressed.
Right.
Councillor Sheffield and then Councillor Ilvento.
Would there be adjustment in the contract that was signed as far as having Solar City go forward now with the possibility of, moving the site? Would that all have to be renegotiated and so forth? If
I don't
we
know,
come to
we
that?
really haven't come to the point of talking about that yet.
Okay.
This just happened within,
A week.
yeah. Councillor Vento?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just concerned because, I think you guys do an excellent job and you're on the ball with lots of stuff, when we have a project going on. My concern is always with Solar City. And I was not in favor of doing this, and it's more concerning now that this was the spot we were given. We were told that this was the place. And we were reassured several times, and to me, the whole time, I never really felt comfortable with it. So for this to come back now and not have that place that we were so reassured would be fine is concerning to me. And again, nothing on you guys.
Sure.
I know you do your job. Do we know if there's been any money of us spent on this? As far as I know, there was never supposed to be anything on our end spent on this.
Right, as far as I know, Counselor, initially, like when we were looking at rebuilding of the plant, that money was by a separate engineering firm. We supplied them information and integrating that into the plant design, and then, we were communicating with that, information to the state. But I think it comes down to, and that's why I thought it would be prudent to have this information. Possibly when you were presented, they weren't giving you all the, someone can present something, but until you have the actual legal language to really understand it, it is difficult. It is very difficult. In fact, we have to keep referring to it,
Yeah.
just so that we know that. So I think, this is going to be helpful in the decision-making in the future.
Well, my concern too with that was that they didn't seem to know there was so much in they didn't seem to know. I mean, the first contract they presented to us was like, it looked like there was nothing specific. So I am concerned, I don't want to beat this up, but I'm concerned now that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I think that was my concern all along, that they weren't very clear on what had to be done. You think you would go to the state first and find out what do you need to meet before you even approach somebody about something like this.
Yeah, we take the attitude like our director took, where let's get the state down here and have her present, so rather than write another letter and Ron sign that, Ron wanted a dialogue.
Yep.
And she was very clear. In fact, she said Class 1 and Class 2.
Right.
So.
Well, and I think the other problem was that during that period of time was when the old director left and, we had an interim and then Ron came on. So I'm sure that things were not I can't be sure, but it seems though that things may have not been carefully looked at.
We're talking previous
Right,
directors.
right.
Yes.
So,
Deputy Mayor Hedrick.
This question is more towards Ron. Ron, is there any negative financial impact to us this year or the next year as a result of this?
We currently, last year, I believe it was around 63,000 of lease payments we've already received from them for the fiscal year 16. We did have that in the 17 budget.
Right.
So I'm not sure how the contract's gonna go as far as with it being terminated or who terminates it, and then are they gonna look for their last year lease payments back, or how that's gonna work?
Was there an escape clause? I thought we had an escape clause in there for us
They-
as well if they default, it's not the right term, but if somehow this wasn't able to come to fruition, that there would be no harm to us. That was my impression. Maybe that's true or maybe not true, but that was my impression.
Yeah, I'm not sure the legal side of the contract as far as that goes, but we
Okay.
have received payments, and we did put that in the budget for the fiscal year 17.
Okay,
So we're gonna have to make that up.
right.
And we're looking at how to do that. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much for making the presentation.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks a lot.
Committee referrals. No committee referrals? Okay, we'll go to new business. Counselor Ilvento.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-16-8-79, therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council authorize an application to Connecticut Trust for Historic Preservation for a historic preservation technical assistance
Grant.
grant. Oh, it should say grant, not grant.
Sure should.
All right.
Thank you. If there's no objection, we'll just change that.
Yep. Let me start over. Therefore, be it resolved, the mayor and council authorize an application to the Connecticut Trust for Historic Preservation and Historic Preservation Technical Assistance Grant to fund the architectural and comprehensive environmental assessment of the Mother Bailey House, 108 Thames Street, Groton, Connecticut, utilizing up to $20,000 and no cents in historic preservation technical assistant grant funds, matched with an up to $20,000 and no cents to be paid from the capital non-reoccurring fund as the required match. I so move.
Second.
We discussed this at our last meeting at the Committee of the Whole. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Deputy Mayor Hedrick.
Thank you. Resolution R-16-8-80, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize the contract and sale of 0.11 acres of land, 640 Long Hill Road, Groton, Connecticut, in as-is condition to Cedar Realty Trust Incorporated, 44 South Bales Avenue, Suite 304, Port Washington, New York, for the purchase price of $37,000 and no cents, and that Mayor Marion Galbraith be authorized to execute said contract. I so move.
Second.
Are there any questions, comments? We did discuss this at the last meeting. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Counselor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-16-8-81, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the placement of a memorial bench at Griswold Point in honor of Vicky J. Foster in accordance with the procedures for consideration of beach and parks memorials as approved by the mayor and council. I so move.
Second.
This again was discussed at the Committee of the Whole. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Counselor Heed.
R-16-8-82, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the placement of a memorial bench at Eastern Point Beach in honor of Barbara Tehan in accordance with the procedures for consideration of beach and parks memorials as approved by the mayor and council. I so move.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? We did discuss this at the last meeting. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Counselor Garish.
Resolution R-16-8-83, resolution that the mayor and council authorize and approve the city of Groton to enter into an agreement with New England Glass, 31 Connecticut Avenue, Norwich, Connecticut, for the replacement of the rear aluminum entrance doors for the quoted price of $24,334.00, and an additional 10% contingency for a total expenditure not to exceed $26,767.00 to be paid from previously reauthorized various public improvement bond funds. I so move.
Second.
This is one of the items that was authorized when we went to the Freeman. Tim, is there anything you wanted to add about this? Ron, did you want to talk about that we only got the one bid, as it mentions in here? It was what we expected. We could go out to bid again if you wanted to, but there's no guarantee that what would come. Okay, all right. Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Back to Councilor Avento.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-16-8-85. 84, sorry. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Groton Mayor and Council waive the bidding process and approve the issuance of a purchase order to Carlson Systems, 176 Amity Road, number 102, Woodbridge, Connecticut, for ABS pumping unit.
Oh,
Yeah, you're supposed to wait on the one above that.
You want 85?
84. You're reading it.
Oh, I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Pay attention.
Sorry, Larry.
He's not in school right now.
I know, that's what happens in the summer. Try again. R-16-8-84, therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council approve the issuance of a purchase order for the emergency repairs of the high lift motor at the water treatment plant to Timken Motor and Crane Services, Schultz Electric, 30 Grando Drive, New Haven, Connecticut, in the amount not to exceed $30,000.00 to be paid from the funds available in the approved fiscal year 2016-2017 Water Division Maintenance of Pumping Equipment budget. I so move.
Second.
So this is not one that came to you before. This is an emergency, as it's stated. It came to the Groton Utilities Commission last Wednesday. This is an emergency repair at the water treatment plant. Although this particular emergency repair was not anticipated, there is money always in the budget for maintenance and for eventualities. So there is money in the budget to cover it. We just would need to authorize it for this emergency repair. Questions?
What was the repair?
It's a high lift motor that needs to be replaced.
Okay, just,
Uh,
no, where?
I can't tell you much about high lift motors.
I wasn't sure if anybody was explaining.
I'm sorry
it.
Rick left,
Oh,
but, because
okay.
he
I
would have,
was-
but anyway,
Okay.
it's a high lift motor. I guess they lift things high, I don't know.
I think in this particular case, the
Thank
high
you.
lift motor refers to the fact that it's deep and it's got to pull the water up. So that's the high lift to push it. So it's got the head to push it. Push the water.
There you go.
That's what I think.
Did you?
Only, that's what I think.
I trust them when they say it's broken.
It's okay.
The critical part.
The word emergency.
Yeah, that was
That-
the issue.
that kinda
was the
gives it to you,
emer-
yeah.
so-
If there are no other questions that I'm pitiful at answering, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Deputy Mayor Hedrick.
Thank you. Resolution R-16-8-85, therefore be it resolved that the City of Groton Mayor and Council waive the bidding process and approve the issuance of a purchase order to Carlson System, 176 Amity Road, number 102, Woodbridge, Connecticut, for an ABS pumping unit for the Twin Hills Pumping Station in an amount not to exceed $15,533.00 to be paid from funds available in the approved fiscal year 2016 WPCA Capital Improvement Plan funds. I so move.
Second.
And this was just discussed at the WPCA. And Kevin's not here either, so if you have any other questions, it's a pump.
Go on.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. We need a motion to go into executive session pursuant to general statutes, sections 1206E, 1210B9, to discuss strategy or negotiations with respect to collective bargaining.
So move.
Second.
We'll go to C8, and Deb, we will probably have action when we come out. All in favor, say aye. Oh, and to include Lori and Chris Sugar.
I just
I
pushed
was
it
wondering
close.
why
Somebody
everyone
else-
else went around.
We need a motion to amend the
Request one,
agenda
two,
to
and
add
three.
2 new resolutions.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Counselor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-18-8-86, therefore be it resolved that in accordance with the provisions of Connecticut General Statutes, Section 7-474B, the mayor and council accept a tentative collective bargaining agreement between the City of Groton City and the International Association of Firefighters Local 1964 Union for the period of July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2019, and that the mayor be authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Groton. I so move.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Counselor Heed.
R-16-8-87, therefore be it resolved that in accordance with the provisions of Connecticut General Statute, Section 7-474B, the mayor and council accept the tentative collective bargaining agreement between the City of Groton City and the Groton White Collar Association, Chapter 19, CSEA Incorporated Union for the period July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2019, and that the mayor be authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Groton. I so move.
Second?
Are there any additional comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. We have no further business.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining. Thank you very much.